Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, 12 tribes of Israel scattered all over the earth. Welcome back. This is your Moray, Dr. Yeshu. We want to take this moment to say thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. And thank you for your prayers. And quite a few people have sent me gifts over the past month and up to present. And Sister Adela, I just want to thank you also. Thank you so much. My brothers and my sisters, the last time I think we went up to verse 6 in Psalm 32. I think we had almost at verse 6, but based on some of the things that we see going on, I think I am pressed to go back to verse 5, that's Psalm 32, verse 5, and we're dealing with confession and forgiveness. Confession and forgiveness. My brothers and sisters, let me say a few things. We have been agonizing and praying, and our hearts are heavy based on what we see going on down there in Israel. And as you know, if you go back into the history of that land, the two group of people that are fighting right now, the land doesn't belong to any of them. Don't belong to them. Belong to our original Hebrew Israelite people, our ancestors. But because we lost it, occupiers, they came in. And so the two group of people came in. And over the many years, these are the descendants of those people that came in. Okay, and I don't have the time to go through the history right now, but I think I'm going to go back into the history. I'm not going to take this moment to do it, but I'm going to go back, and I'm not going to tell you anything from my head. I'm going to tell you from what is written, so you could understand what is going on right now. At the same time, it does not give anybody the right to kill. Just go and just kill people just for killing them, just to kill people because of the fact that, we have sin in our hearts, in our lives. And, like I read a few evenings ago, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? In Psalm 32 and verse 5, I've dealt with it, and I just feel, impressed and moved to go back over, so we can see that some of the things that we see happening around us, we'll understand why they happen. Okay? So, in verse 5, Psalm 32, verse 5, the psalmist said, I acknowledged my sin unto thee, and my iniquity have I not hid. My brothers and my sisters, the problem in the world today is that people are not willing to admit when they are wrong. This is strong. It is strong. This idea is strong among the heathen, among the Gentile people. And then our Hebrew Israelite people, especially those who are unawakened, have mixed up and have gone through, you know, so much ideal and so we have them companionship, agreeing, participating with the Gentiles in the way they act and behave. It's been happening a long while. Why do you suppose they were taken into captivity in the Assyrian Empire? Because they saw what the Assyrian people were doing and they want to be like them too. Why do you suppose that almost 200 years later, the southern kingdom was taken into Babylon, end up into Persia? Why? Because there are segment of the people who want to be just like those people. So we find that we are always following. And my brothers and my sisters, when we're able to stand on our own, so we see they get away with a lot of the lies and the stealing and the maiming and killing. And so what happened? We say if they get away with it, we can get away with it too. There is an old saying that cats and dogs do not have the same luck. Some things the cat will get away with, the dogs cannot get away with it. Something the dogs can get away with, the cats cannot get away with it. And it's the same thing with us as human. As Hebrew Israelite people, there are some things we cannot get away with. You know, because the limelight is basically on you, it's on me. So I have to be careful of my walk, of my talk, my behavior. I have to be careful. Okay, down in Israel right now, among the two groups that are fighting, if they would come to the place where they acknowledge their faults against each other, their sin against each other, acknowledge their sin towards Yahweh, things would be better. But nobody wants to step down and be humbling, to humble themselves and to pray and to seek his face, turn from the wicked ways, like he said in 2 Chronicles chapter 7. Then he will heal their land. He'll forgive their sins. My brothers and my sisters, he said, I acknowledge my sin unto thee. In other words, he came to the place in his life where he recognized that he has sinned. And he had to face the fact. So if I listen to some of these present-day politicians, did I do that? What did I do wrong? They go around bragging about the evil that they've done. And they come around and ask a question. What did I do wrong? To them, in their heart, in their mind, it's okay. But you do it and let them catch you. Finding out that those so-called rich and mighty people not getting away with it either. They're not getting away with it. You know, they may miss. You see, Yahweh is long-suffering and not willing that any should perish, but that all would come to repentance. And so what happened is that some people just don't get caught right away. You know, it's not, but later on, we get boastful. Hey man, I get away with that stuff. I can do it again. And before long, investigation catch up with you. Yahweh is not sleeping, my brothers and my sisters. He's not sleeping. He can see you. He can see me. So we have to watch our conversation. All right. And so he said, not only that, he acknowledged his sin, but he said his iniquity is not hidden. My brothers and sisters, iniquity is all kinds of sin. Sin was a is a, you want to say a multifaceted, if you want to use that term, you can. But is a whole is a whole lot of different things mixed together. Sinful act. Iniquity is not hidden. And so he said, I will confess. I will confess my iniquity, or the iniquity of my sin. And it says, Selah. The word sin here is the Hebrew word that is kata'a. Kata'a means sin. You know, it means sin, and my brothers and my sisters, there's punishment for sin. But better than that, there is purification for sin, that Yahweh can purify your heart, your life. And not only so, but it's an offering for sin. Yahushua, he offered himself for your sin and my sin. You know, the offense, sometimes, my brothers and sisters, habitual sinfulness. You know, keep on doing it. I guess people, after a while, you know, they do one sin, then they do a second one, and then they keep on, you know, compounding them. And after a while, they're doing it so much that it don't matter to them. They just keep on doing it. I heard guys talk, those who went to Vietnam, and they said it was very difficult for them to point a gun at someone. But when they found out their lives were in jeopardy, this guy said he saw this man coming towards him, and he knows coming to kill him. And he has no other choice but to defend himself and kill the man. Shot him. He said he couldn't sleep for a couple of nights. He just couldn't sleep. But as he goes back out there into the, you know, he went back out into the bushes, and, you know, the Viet Cong people, and start shooting at them, and so he have to defend himself, so he start shooting too. So after a while, they were shooting the Americans, he was shooting them too. So it was as hard to him as before. You know, all you have to do is get one. That's what he was saying. Well, it becomes a habit of doing it. Just going out there to do it, it becomes a habit. First one was hard, but you know. And this is what happened to sin in our lives. You know, we do one, it bothers us a little bit, and then after a while our conscience stop bothering us about it. And what my brother and my sister says, I thank Yahweh. You know, there's a penalty for sin. He pays the penalty for us. There's a sacrifice. And he did this sacrifice for us. So we don't have to keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Evening sacrifice, morning sacrifice. We don't have to keep doing it. We sacrifice ourselves to him. We offer ourselves to him as living sacrifices, holy and acceptable unto him, which is our reasonable service, my brothers and my sisters. You know, we are offended, but praise his name. He took our punishment for sin. He purified our hearts. You know, he gives himself as the sin offering for us. Praise be to his holy name. In verse 6, he said, for this shall everyone that is, listen to this, for this shall everyone that is godly pray unto thee in a time when thou mayst be found. Yahweh does not always strive with man. His work supposed to convict us and bring us into the place where we recognize and acknowledge our sin and our iniquity. Turn from our sinful ways and to turn to him. Convicts us, that's what he does. But it's not going to always happen, my brothers and my sisters. Here is in a time when he can be found, when he is, you know, so what he's saying here, over a period of time, he hears us, but there's sometimes he's not going to hear us. He's going to hear, but he's not going to answer. In other words, he's not deaf. Yahuwah is not deaf. He's not blind. He's not weak. He's all-powerful. He's omniscient. He's omnipresent. He sees everything. He knows everything. My brothers and my sisters, he is all-powerful. He can do anything but fail. And so here, in the time when he may be found, call upon him while he is near. In Isaiah, he said, we call upon him while it may be found also. And so surely in the floods of great waters, in the floods of great waters, they shall not come nigh unto thee. If you go back up to where it say, for this shall everyone that is godly pray. I want to look at the word godly because I'll jump over it a little bit there. Godly is the word kasid. Is the word kasid, the Hebrew word. There's ket, samek, vav, and dalet. Kasid. And what his word is saying here, his word is basically saying kind and pious. A godly person is someone who is kind and pious. In other words, he is holy. He is living a set-apart life. And because of that, you know, in time when you call upon Yahweh, okay, he call upon him. He doesn't procrastinate. You know, he calls upon him. And listen what he said here. Even in the flood of great waters, he's talking about the trouble and all of these different crises that come upon people. And when you're going through all of these times, my brothers and sisters, you're going to be safe because you are in Yahuwah's hand. You are going to be safe in Yahuwah's hand. Praise his holy name. It's not going to come near to you. Shall not come nigh unto thee. Godly men, good men, holy ones, merciful saints. We talk about the saint, is if you contrast them with the ungodly, two different group of people. Like in Psalm 1, it talks about those who are godly. Don't walk in the ways of sinners or standing or sit with the scoffers and so on, but his delight is in Yahweh. Praise his holy name. He is kind, he's pious, he's a good person. He's a good man, he's a good woman. He's merciful. He's a saint. Just like Yahweh shows mercy to him, he also have mercy upon other people. My brothers and sisters, we're going to stop here. And we're going to come back. We're going to come back to verse 6, but our time is gone for this session. So we're going to ask you, my brothers and sisters, to be a blessing to someone today and walk with the King. Shalom.